Good evening, Nancy. Lesson 4, on the streets, living from hand to mouth. So let's listen to the dialogue right here. Okay. Of course, it doesn't work. It's VLC. It seems like some people having some issues with VLC. So yeah. So this is track 16, and it's CD1. All clear 3, CD1. You have it normally, okay? And let me just force quit this. There we go, and we play again.
Lesson 4. Focused listening. As you listen. Pages 58 to 59. A. Close your book. Listen to the conversation between a homeless man and a reporter to find the answers to these questions. Has the homeless man always been poor? Why was his wife unhappy?
Hello, young man. What brings you to this neck of the woods?
Actually, I was wondering if I could interview you for my newspaper.
Me? About what?
Well, we're doing a series of articles on the homeless, and
And you want to know what happened to me, what I live on, what it's like to live from hand to mouth?
Yeah, I do want to know. Would you be willing to tell me your story?
You got about 3 hours?
Whatever we need.
Well, then go ahead and sit down.
Thanks. Let's see. Well, first, I'd like to ask you...
No questions. Just listen. You think I grew up poor, don't you? That I don't have an education. But you're dead wrong. I have a college degree. I worked for a big company. My parents would turn over in their graves if they could see me now.
But how?
I said no questions. Just sit still and listen. In the beginning, I got up at 5 a.m. every day and was at work by 7. And I stayed at the office till 8 in the evening. 13 hours. That was the only way I could keep up with all the work. It just never let up. I never saw my family very much because when I got home, I usually went straight to bed. Well, I guess I was doing a pretty good job because I kept moving up the ladder. I became a manager and got more money, but I also had to work even more hours, and weekends too. You can imagine that my wife never stopped complaining. She told me I was getting burned out and had no time for a life.
That must have been really hard to hear.
Yeah, my marriage was at stake. So I went to my boss and asked for a vacation. He told me to wait 3 more months. He needed me there. So nothing changed. Day in and day out, I worked and worked. Eventually, my wife left. And guess what? The company closed down a year later. The economy was bad and I couldn't find another job. Over time, I lost everything. Hey, how many hours do you work a day? Too many, I'm sure. I just hope you know what you're doing.
Things could change for you, you know. You could start over. After all, you're educated.
That's wishful thinking, young man.
Here we go. So it's not over, they play it again.
Listen again. But this time, read the conversation as you listen.
Yeah. So anyway, this neck of the woods, in this neighborhood, to live on, to survive, to live from hand to mouth, begging to survive as well. You're dead wrong, you're completely wrong, would turn over in their graves. That's an image of people being dead, they're on their coffins and they turn because they are so surprised, or imagine a grandfather who built with his bare hands a big house, and the children decide to sell the house, so we can say he would turn over in his grave. if they could see me now. Okay, so 13 hours. That was the only way I could keep up with all the work. That means I was not late with my job. I didn't have to, I was doing all the work I was asked for, I was asked for every day, and I was finishing every day. It's pretty hard to explain, but it's more like, this is what I'm doing. Every day I have to keep up with my work, with the recordings, everything, otherwise I'll be late. And one day I'll have so much work, I wouldn't be able to give my classes. Okay, so I have to keep up with all the work every day. It just never let up. Okay, it's like never really changed in a sense. It was always the same. Always had, I never had a break in a sense. If you check, let me see here. Where is it? Up. Burned out. That was here. Move up the ladder. Let up. So in a sense, it's like you're trying to do all your job every day. From one day you can have a break, but you can't. So gradually and finally come to a stop after a great deal of pressure, such as with work, or a great quantity of something, such as rain. So if the rain lets up, let's go to the beach, okay? It's like stops. The pressure finally let up after final exams. That teacher never lets up. We don't have time to breathe. He won't let up. He keeps pushing me to study. And to let somebody down is like to give up on someone. You disappoint this person. I promise I'll get the work done. Good. Don't let me down. I'm relying on you. Okay? So anyway, coming back to this, there's a mess on the street, so don't pay attention. Trying to talk to avoid to be annoyed. So moving up the ladder is going up to get a promotion, bonuses, stuff like that. I was getting burned out. Like I was so tired, working like a slave. I had no time for a life. My marriage was at stake. That means it was at risk, okay? Because he didn't really have time for his wife and everything. So I went to my boss and asked for vacation, day in, day out, all day long. And eventually my wife left. And guess what? The company closed down. Okay, the company closed completely. And the last one is that's wishful thinking. Like you may hope, but I'm not gonna find a job my age. That's a problem nowadays in our society. Is we can have a lot of experience to get a college degree, but we're too old. Yep, things are just going fast like that. So coming back to this live on to survive. Okay, so that's something I'll send you, to live from hand to mouth, to survive as well. We can also say to beg on the street, We have nothing. It's like you survive from whatever it's available around. Okay, live from paycheck to paycheck. You have about 3 hours to listen to my story. Do you have time? Like, my story is gonna take a long time. It's like the story of the homeless guy will take a long time to tell. Okay, how can I explain it here? So I have got, this is one option. I have, and I'm not gonna put this stuff here, but I have got, I have, I've got, and I got. That's all means the same. Okay, I have got, I have got, I've got. So it's like I have got to do my homework. I have to do my homework. I got to do my homework. It's the same. Okay. Sometimes you're gonna see like gotta go. gotta go. It's like I've got to go, or I have to go. Stake, that's a meat. At stake, jeopardized, in danger. Okay? In danger. So that is from the thing before. So if you have time, I would like you to do some exercises from the book. What can we do here? Yeah. Yeah, maybe this one. The exercise on page 63 concerning let up. Okay, so 63 exercise page 63. It's about let up, below let up. Okay. Anyways, you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Finally Friday. You have a nice evening, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.